they were positioning us to make this intercept on this orbiting vehicle. Apparently, somebody made a decision to shoot him down before I even was launched. I didn't know that, but they finally gave us our final vector, and we went in there, and they said, be advised, you'll have a bogey 30 degrees at 15 miles on the port side. And sure enough, when I started painting it, I got this blob. It was not a blip, it was a blob. It was about the size you'd get of an aircraft carrier in the North Sea when you painted them. This was humongous for me. It was so strong that it literally, I didn't have to do anything to lock on except get the range gate marker near where the blip was. And boy, when it did, it just automatically, the lights went out, everything, and you had firing information already. It was one of those things that just was a storybook of flight. So I was going in, and at 20 seconds to go, on the lock-on, we start our final penetration to the fire. Now, the information we get from the radar says this guy was going fast at this time. He was going about maybe 100 knots faster than I was, and I was at Mach 0.92, which was all the F-86D could do. It's not like the modern jets. Well, sure enough, I started getting down there, ready to fire, and the circle started coming down, and the next thing I know, the overtake went from whatever it was, my speed, it was about 1,000 knots, something like that. If he took off, I estimated about 10, Mach 10 in an airplane that doesn't go Mach 10. You know, airplanes don't go Mach 10. Not that anything I've ever seen. And this was never made by a human being. This was something that was totally different. I've never seen. He could do things that I couldn't do. He could stop and start and keep going and everything else. But he took off. And he took off, and in 2 sweeps on the ground, he was off their scope. He was off my scope sooner than that. But as soon as that happened, the mission was over, and I couldn't fire. So on the way down, the GCI controller says, contact us on the landline. We have very important information for you. I said, Roger. And I did that. I recovered at Manston. The weather was still bad. It was still night. And I had an entire mission with night weather, which was Joule time on your Form 5. Anyway, I got down, got to the phone, called the landline, and they said, this is a top secret mission. I don't know why, but that's what it was. And it says, you're not to talk about it. We're going to send someone down from London to talk to and debrief you tomorrow. I said, yes, sir, thank you, and hung up. Sure enough, the next day, a spook. You know what a spook is? A spook is some guy from Cloak and Dagger who wants to debrief you on something. I don't know what the hell it was. You know, I'm not going to tell him. So anyway, he says, I want you to know this is a top secret mission. You're not allowed to tell your commander or anyone else anything about this, or we will take your wings away. You know, when you're 25 years old and you want to start flying, you don't want to hear that. So I put a zipper on my mouth, and that was the end of that. I could never talk about it again until Nick Pope's people from the Ministry of Defense, they call it MOD, M-O-D, like our DOD, exposed all their data on October 21st. I remember because I got a warning from a friend of mine in England that I would be exposed on my mission on October 21st. Sure enough, the phone started ringing. It rang for 4 days, non-stop. This is the London Times, this is so-and-so, ABC, NBC, name it, this is CNN, and so on. Anyway, make a long story short, I'm now able to talk about my experience that I just told you about. Disclosure is what we need. There are many more people like me that are running around with secrets that they can't talk about because nobody will release it. And I think we should get together even with the Russians, because I'm sure they know a hell of a lot more about these aliens than we do. But it's a really important thing for us to know about this thing so we can go forward. They have technology that we haven't even dreamt of. I'm sure their propulsion system was something like anti-gravity or something like that, because they could stop on a dime, they can take off at Mach 10 or greater, It's unbelievable what they can do. So we need to know these things. So, the only reason I'm here is to tell you, let's disclose this whenever we can, please. Thank you.